approximately 1 p.m., the president was pronounced dead.
From this time and place, to friend and foe alike, that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
What began with such promise, however, would end less than 3 years later in tragedy. On November 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, shot to death while riding in an open limousine through the city streets of Dallas, Texas. The death of such a young and vigorous leader was an overwhelming event which stunned both the nation and the world. In the years that followed, though, the Kennedy assassination became much more than a national tragedy. When viewed in light of later assassinations, the war in Vietnam,
was with the Office of Naval Intelligence attached to the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet staff, I saw documents that stated with no hesitation whatsoever, with clear understanding, that President Kennedy was killed by William Greer, the Secret Service agent driving his limousine in the motorcade. These documents disclosed to me that the people involved in the assassination of the President were the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Secret Service, Division 5 of the FBI, and the Central Intelligence Agency. The reason stated was that he was a security risk, that he had ordered them to stop the sale and importation of drugs to the American people, and that he had ordered them to develop a plan to disclose the presence of extraterrestrial visitation to this Earth within the following year. He had also ordered a printing of legally constitutional silver-backed money, which is not in the best interest of the world bankers or the power structure or the Federal Reserve, which is not an agency of the federal government, but is a private corporation run, and the stock is held and owned by bankers, most of whom are European bankers controlled by the House of Rothschild. They pay no taxes on the national debt that we pay them and the money that they earn from the interest. So they were dead set against the printing of this money. Kennedy had also discovered what the CIA had been doing for many years. You see, being president, he used to open a lot of drawers that nobody usually gets to open. And he had informed the CIA that he had intended, and he said this publicly, by the way, that he intended expand the CIA and scatter it in 1,000 different directions. So you see, he made some pretty big enemies. And there were some pretty powerful people who thought that he needed to be killed. Many of you saw this and found this out for the first time today. Many of you are upset by this. I am. I have been ever since I saw those documents. I've been terribly upset. In fact, in my book, I enclose parts of my service record in the appendix. You can see the exact day that I found out that the Office of Naval Intelligence was involved in the assassination of President Kennedy. I went over the hill with no intention of coming back. It was my good friend Robert Swan who talked me into returning so that I could do what I'm doing today. He said, "Bill, you can't help anybody. You're in jail, and that's where you're going if you don't go back." So I went back after 8 days. But you can see the exact day in 1971 when I saw the document that told me who killed President Kennedy. Let's take about a 5-minute break. Let's take a 10-minute break.